Hi, Bonbon here. Have you ever seen one of those collaboration videos and wondered just how they work? You ever been curious to take part in one but you just aren't good enough, or you just aren't famous enough, or you just don't have a powerful enough computer? Well, Papa Bonbon is here for you with a little bit of help from Uncle Ron. You see, I've set up a collaboration opportunity which should pretty much allow anyone who's interested the chance to have a go and be part of a collaboration. You don't need a big computer or insane detailing skills. You just need to want to have a go and to play at your own level. This is the map we're going to be using. It's an edited version of Midsummer by Uncle Ron. The link to the original map is in the description, along with the link to the map that we're going to be using. If you're going to be playing along, make sure you're using the correct map. More fool you if you get it wrong. They are very clearly marked. So how's this going to work? Well, every map has 81 tiles, which says to me 81 players with one tile each. I will allocate you and everybody else a tile. You then build on that tile. You then save your work, upload it to the workshop, and then I will grab that, export your work using Move It into a shared map, and then obviously re-upload that to the workshop when complete, along with a video showcasing how everybody's work has come together. Because I'm using Move It to export, all I'm really interested in are the placements of buildings, trees, props, roads, paths, railroads, all those sorts of things. You don't need to worry about water, you don't need to worry about power, you don't need to worry about fire coverage or education, any of those things. Move It won't pick these things up. In fact, once you load up the map, press pause and then just start plopping. More about plopping in a moment. Okay, there are some rules. First of all, you need to be a PC player with Steam accessibility. Without Steam, you're not going to be able to get hold of the map and you're not going to be able to share your save. So, PC player with Steam. DLC, you don't need any. In fact, beyond that, to keep this as accessible to everybody so nobody feels left out and everybody's on an even playing field, I'm actually going to ban DLCs from this build. So even if you've got Industries, and you know I've got Industries, I'm going to say please do not use anything from Industries or any other DLC. So I do have some recommended mods, some more recommended than others. Given that I'm going to be allocating you a tile, its chance of being the start square are very remote. Very, very remote. Now, you may have map editor skills. If you do, you can actually go and change the start square in the map editor. That works for me. It's not a problem. However, if you've never been into the map editor before, don't worry. You can use either the 81 tile mod, or if the 81 tile mod has given you problems before, use the 25 tile unlock mod that comes with the base game. Along with the unlimited money mod, why would you not? Because we're going to be plopping. It's not about making a working town under base game rules. Add into that Ploppable RICO Revisited. What this is going to allow you to do is to pick up any building that you want from your menus and just place it down anywhere that you want in your tile. The building will not instantly despawn, especially as you haven't actually got the simulation running. But Ploppable RICO to plop and place your buildings. Find It 2 is going to make it easier for you to find the specific buildings that you want. If you want a level 3 residential, or if you want a level 2 commercial, if you want an end of terrace, you'll be able to find these things using Find It 2. There are other mods you can add to expand on Find It 2, but I'm keeping this list as short and as simple as possible. You can just make up your own minds as to how you want to. You play as many mods as you like, I don't mind. And then we'll finish off with Move It. Move It is a mod that if you're playing City Skylines without Move It, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, we'll finish with what I think is going to be the most important of these mods though, and that is Prop Anarchy, or if you're old school, Show More Limits. The reason being is I'm going to limit you to the amount of things you can actually put in your tile. For example, if I said you could put 1,000 buildings down in your tile, there are 81 tiles, that could be 81,000 buildings, and that would exceed the maximum limitation on building placements. So I will be limiting the amount of things that you can put in your tile. Having prop anarchy or show more limits using the Control L hotkey will enable you to see exactly how many items you've placed down. Remember, you're not building on a working town or a working village. It's just a dummy town. Doesn't matter, which means you don't need to worry about districts. You don't need to worry about transport lines, anything like that. Anything which is non-tangible will just disappear when I pick it up using Move It. So don't worry about that at all. In fact, don't worry about even population. Just get those buildings down in the right place. Leave the rest to me. Don't remove or move networks which leave your tile into another tile or off the edge of the map. These are shared roads on shared pathways and shared dirt tracks with your neighbours. Even if you can see your dirt track just enters your neighbour's tile, just leave it there. That is shared. That is not yours to delete. Think of yourself as a town planner, not as a county planner. Work on whatever small town or buildable area that you want to do within your tile, and anything that crosses over, including fields. If you have a field which is shared between your tile and your neighbour's tile, that field's got to stay there. Nothing to stop you from doing a bit of detailing in the field on your side, but I wouldn't remove it. Hedge lines that cut across, they are shared hedge lines. I'd leave them in place as well. Don't mess with anything that is shared with your neighbour, and your neighbour will not mess with anything that is shared with you. No terraforming. Move It doesn't pick up terraforming. So the only terraforming you can actually do is that done by the game engine when raising or sinking a ground level road. So yes, you can make cuttings, but again, anything that wants smoothing along the edge of the cutting, you're not going to be able to do with the terrain tool. Now, I've limited you by saying no DLC, so a lot of you are going to be going, yes, I'm going to grab a whole bunch of things off of the workshop, and I'm going to say, sure, if everybody grabs 1,000 things off the workshop, I've got to have 81,000 assets on my computer, and my computer's going to melt down. So I'm going to put a limit. And I've thought hard. Do I limit you to 100? Do I limit you to 50? And I figured to really force you to be as creative as possible, I'm going to limit you to just five workshop assets, with the exception of the trees which are already on the map. There are a few workshop trees on the map, so you can use those, and then you can add another 5 from the workshop. Good luck. Procedural objects, no. Keeping this simple. I don't want somebody building an elaborate fairy castle in the middle of the map and then little Johnny no mates next to him playing their first ever, getting shown up and then feeling really, insignificant. We're not having that. So nothing procedural objects. You can be creative, just not procedural. And that's about it. So I recommend stop the simulation as soon as you load up the map. Buy to the tile that you need to be building on, and then use plopping and building just like you see these top detailers doing, like you're seeing with your $2.20s and your strict toasters. You can do that. You can plop and make things look wonderful with some basic detailing. Right, now limits. I did say something about limits, and limits are a thing within the game. So using prop anarchy or show more limits, which you can open that window using Control L. Do that as soon as you load up your map. You'll see that there are already 101 buildings on the map, and I'm going to allow you in your tile a maximum of 500 extra buildings in your tile. That'll bring you up to a maximum of 601. So there's that. Props, I'm also going to allow you 500 for detailing in your tile. You'll use those up very quickly. You'll use those up very, very quickly. There are already 501 props on the map as a whole, so that'll bring you up to a maximum of 101. That said, a few of the props I haven't listed as requirements. They are little farming vehicles, those sorts of things. So your prop count from the off might be below 501. Whatever the prop count is for you, add 500, and that is your limit to the maximum amount of props that you can have. Nodes and segments. Now the map already has quite an extensive network system, and so I'm allowing a maximum of 300 nodes or 300 segments in your tile. That would bring you up to a maximum of 6,933 nodes or 7,054 segments on the total count at the time that you save your map. Now, of course, you can save on node segments, props and buildings by deleting any that are within your tile, just so long as, again, they don't affect any of your neighbours' work. So just be a little bit careful there. Finally, and this is the big one, trees. Okay, potato computer runners, cover your ears right now. The map, as you see it, has 976,089 trees. You are going to need tree anarchy for this. If you are happy running 1,000,000 trees on your computer, great. You have an extra 2,500 trees to add to that tree count, just 2,500, bringing you up to a maximum of 978,589. But a few of you are going to be crying, going, my computer's going to burn. It's fine, don't worry, we'll save your computer. When you apply, you're going to use the word potato. You're going to let me know that you've got a potato. And then I or somebody else will make you a custom map removing all of the trees from around the areas that don't involve you and centering on your start tile. We might even just make the start tile the start square. Haven't decided on that just yet. But yes, we will make it so that you can actually do your build without actually burning out your computer. You will still have the same number of trees to place, 2,500, but of course your tree count will be a lot lower. You'll have to do your own maths. So if your tree count happens to be, say, 100, you'll be able to get your maximum up to 2006. See where I'm going? Maybe. Anyway, that's all about that's about the limits. That's most of the, in fact, that's the rules all sorted. If you don't understand any of that, go back, watch the video again. It should hopefully sink in. I would suggest trying to keep the build in keeping with the map, but I'm pretty sure that most of you are going to want to build some sort of mini megacity or something to stand out. But I would say, listen, it's a farming map. Try and keep it into like small towns, little villages, little networks, that kind of thing. But you can build whatever you like under the rules that I've just given you. So, which is your tile? Well, the map is not marked. I was going to go about putting down little markers on every single tile, but again, they would have been hard to find and they would have just taken up more props and more networks, and I decided against it. Instead, when you open up the map, the start tile you will see is off center. You want it in the top left hand corner of your map. So if your map isn't centered this way around, rotate the map so that this start square is in the top left hand corner of the 25 tiles. And now, down the side of your map, imagine the rows are listed A, B, C, all the way down to I. And across the top, the columns are listed columns 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 9. Which means that this start square is tile C3. I decided to go with that one because it's just easier to count up from this one. If I gave you tile E6, you could just buy out those tiles. You can count them out. You can count them out. You count them up and you count down. It's quite an easy one. Rather than counting from the middle, if I gave you the middle tile, you counting down and minusing letters, it gets a bit messy. So anyway, you should be able to, with this reference, C3 as the start square, should be able to find your tile fairly easily. And then we're good to go. So, to take part, what do you need to do? Well, first of all, comment yes down below. I will reply to you with a grid reference and that will be your tile. Feel free, have fun, take your time. If your PC is going to struggle with a million trees, comment the word potato. And somebody, if not myself, but somebody will edit you a map and we will share that with you, and then you can just crack on and build on the save game that we provide for you. Be patient though, it will take a little bit of time to edit the map. We have all got lives ourselves, but we will send you a save game link into the comments underneath your comment. Make sure, however, that you are using any requirements from the listed main map page, because there are a few custom trees. Okay, got that? Finally, if you need to have one of the 25 tiles, comment the word vanilla, and we will ensure that you get one of the 25 tiles in the middle of the map. So your answers are yes to take part for anywhere on the map, potato if you need us to edit for you, and vanilla if you need a 25 tile, and that should be good to go. So save your game, upload it to the workshop, make it public, then send the link into the comments on this video wherever you've replied yes, potato or vanilla, and I have given you your tile. Underneath there, reply your save game link, and then just sit back and wait, because there's going to be a lot of other people building. I'm not actually going to do anything with this until I've got plenty of saves in place to actually start putting things together. Remember, however, also in your save game to include the links to any of those 5 workshop items that I've allowed you to have. Include the links to your requirements. So take your time. We're going to allow at least a couple of months so that as many people as possible can get to take part. I will then compile the main group map, showcase it on the channel and upload it and share it so you can all explore it. If by the time you see this video all 81 tiles have been claimed and taken, or the collaboration is long since over, you can still play the map, choose and tile, and see maybe how your build compares with the play that actually had that tile. Anyway, that's all there is. If you want to take part, remember, just comment yes, potato or vanilla into the comments, and let's get this thing started. I've been Bonbon, you've been very, very welcome, and I'm looking forward to collaborating with you very, very soon. Thanks for watching.